Health leaders put the Aurora ICE facility on notice. Either let them in to investigate a potential tuberculosis outbreak or face the consequences. The facility did not comply. So what are the consequences? Denver wants to bring back online parking ticket disputes, but there's a dispute over the effort. A Western Slope group is kicking off political debate season without the candidate at the top of the GOP ticket. And Denver's newest street sign could have used a copy editor. Don't worry, I bet nobody noticed. Nope, except for us, tonight on Next. Fines could be coming for the ICE facility in Aurora. Then again, maybe not. Colorado's Public Health Department, CDPHE, wants answers about a tuberculosis outbreak at the ICE detention center run by GEO Group. Multiple public health orders to get that info appear to have been disregarded. Our Angeline McCall breaks down the refusal and what could come next.
Inside the GEO Group's detention facility in Aurora, at least one confirmed tuberculosis case. And outside, a push for an investigation starting with this public health order from CDPHE.
There's a lot of people that are at risk when something like this happens. GEO knows, the CDPHE knows, the governor's office knows, the AG knows. We know.
Miriam Ortuñez Rodriguez with immigrant rights nonprofit American Friends Service Committee and other advocates pushed for an order like this. The company had until midnight Monday to hand over information about the case and anyone else who may have been in contact. CDPHE says GEO didn't comply.
It just leaves us shocked that the data that was requested of GEO, they couldn't even provide.
Under a new law passed this year, they could be fined $50,000 per refusal, and it opens up an avenue for upcoming litigation.
I think what should happen next is that the Attorney General is now in a position to do his job, which is to uphold Colorado laws through starting litigation against GEO and fining them for violation of the public health order.
We asked Attorney General Phil Weiser's office, who wouldn't share if or when he plans to sue. Until then, Miriam says it's impossible for adequate contact tracing to happen or accountability without some kind of consequence.
Accountability can possibly happen in these circumstances, but it would have to be through fines and litigation.
We reached out to the GEO Group about this. They said they operate under federal standards and have close federal oversight with agencies like the CDC, as well as the ICE Health Service Corps. A spokesperson added there are currently no active or suspected cases of TB, as they believe, adding they have repeatedly engaged with the Adams County Health Department and other Colorado officials. Marshall?
Repeatedly engaged, but not allowing them in. And this new law that took effect last week says what if they can't come in?
Yeah, that bill that was just passed this past legislative session, House Bill 1276, it would allow the AG to fine or sue. It actually also prompted GEO to file their own lawsuit to try to stop that law from going into effect. Until any kind of legal decision, though, Marshall, we know that the state could still pursue any kind of legal action under it.
It's a good thing. Crossing your fingers is a good way to keep communicable disease from going across the metro area. We hope this gets resolved. Thank you, Angeline. A federal court ruling could impact a large number of Aurora residents. A judge will allow the Trump administration to move forward with ending legal protections for some Ethiopian immigrants. This could end temporary protected status for about 5,000 Ethiopians. The TPS program allows people who are escaping dangerous conditions in their home countries to live and work legally in the U.S. That status was granted to Ethiopians in 2022 because of an armed conflict in that country. The Trump administration has been trying to end those protections since last year as part of a widespread effort to end TPS for more than a dozen countries. That rule change could be especially impactful in Aurora, which has more than 5,000 Ethiopian residents. It's the second largest foreign-born population in Aurora, behind Mexican immigrants. There is a dispute over the effort to end in-person disputes for parking tickets in Denver. The city's online parking dispute program got slashed during budget cuts last year, and this week the city announced it's finally bringing that system back online. Except, some city councilors say the mayor's office needs to find funding for it. When Denver cut an online portal to dispute parking tickets, it sent drivers to court instead, a months-long process to argue simple cases like a ticket written to the wrong license plate. Mayor Mike Johnston's office and the city's Department of Transportation have already done the victory lap, announcing they're bringing back the online portal. But City Councilwoman Flora Vidrez doesn't like the city's plan to fund the portal. Back in 2021, Denver raised parking meter rates from $1 an hour to $2, and that extra dollar was meant for road safety. Well, the city's transportation department wants to use it for the parking dispute portal Alvidrez is now introducing a bill to make sure that fund is only used for things like bike lanes and bus infrastructure.
An understanding that those dollars would go to what we fight for every day. Every day it's, can I get a speed bump? Can I get a rapid flashing beacon? My intersection isn't safe. We do need to fund a parking dispute system, absolutely. We're willing to have that conversation. It shouldn't come from these funds.
The city's transportation department hinted that the online portal might stay offline if the council bill passes. They say their budget has no capacity to absorb extra expenses next year, and they were planning to pull about $400,000 from that road safety fund. The political debate season often starts on the western slope with a group called Club 20. Club 20 is made up of now 22 counties west of the Continental Divide, from Jackson, Grand, and Summit counties all the way west to the Utah border. Republican gubernatorial candidate Victor Marks turned down Club 20 a few weeks ago. Today, the group's executive director told me that they will still hold a debate with Democrat Phil Weiser and Republican turned unaffiliated candidate Greg Lopez. Club 20 is an event Democrats running for statewide office have also recently ducked, twice by Governor Jared Polis, never by Weiser. And Club 20's executive director told me today, if you care about the western slope, you care about Club 20. You've generally not had problems getting Republican candidates to take part in events, right?
Correct.
What does it say to you that the Republican candidate won't participate in something that's generally more favorable to them?
It's a head scratcher, but I don't think this is the first time this campaign has done some head scratching stuff. Victor Marks was gracious enough to tell me that why he wasn't coming, and I greatly appreciate it. But I told him, I said, you're declining our invitation. We're going to talk about this out loud and no bitching. And he goes, what? I said, no bitching. Don't complain later when I can't beat up Governor Polis for not wanting to participate in Club 20 and then let the Republican nominee go scot-free on this. So I told him, no bitching.
Do you think you've been easier on Victor Marks than the group was with Governor Polis?
On the debate issue, I think I've been a little bit harder on him than we were on Polis. But on issues in general, I wouldn't say, I mean, I haven't seen a policy where we can disagree with him because I don't know where he stands. I don't know where he stands on wildlife mitigation. I don't know where he stands on the Colorado River Management Plan that just came out. I don't know where he stands on the Bureau of Reclamation deciding to drain our reservoirs. I don't know where he stands on any of those things. I don't know where he stands on endangered species. I don't know where any of those things. So it's hard to criticize him.
Have you reached back out to the Marks campaign and say, we're having a debate, we now have two candidates, are you sure?
I spent a week doing it. I try not to get in the head of their campaign or what they're trying to achieve. The invitation is always open to them. He has a very strong base, but he is not growing past that base. I don't think he's added a vote in Western Colorado since he decided not to come to the Club 20 debates. And that is an area of the state where he should win.
Victor Marks has declined a 9 News debate as well, along with other moderated debates, though he did agree to be on stage with Phil Weiser at a Colorado Chamber Forum in October. Marks's attendance at that forum was announced right after the Colorado Chamber removed Kyle Clark as the moderator. Tonight's next question is about a Senate candidate nobody heard of until he spent big on a political ad on the air in Colorado.
I'm Bob Chu. I'm running out of patience and furniture. That's why I'm running for U.S. Senate as an independent.
One of our viewers, Lynn, asks, Bob Chu claims to be an independent candidate for U.S. Senate, but he's running as part of the Colorado Forward Party. Why is he calling himself an independent? Lynn, I asked Bob Chu that on the phone today. First, independent is often confused with unaffiliated. Unaffiliated means not being registered with any party. Chu is registered as a Forward Party candidate in the race to unseat Democratic Senator John Hickenlooper, but that's not on his campaign homepage. You have to find it under the Why tab. Chu told me the Forward Party does not have a platform, but rather values. He said he is totally free to come up with his own policy positions regardless of whether they are left, right, or in the middle, thus making him completely independent of any party platform. We should point out, Chu was a registered Republican until this time last year. He told me his disenchantment with the party began with the election of President Trump in 2016, and he became totally disenchanted with Republicans last year with what he sees as unchecked executive overreach. Send us your next question, anything about Colorado you've wondered about. We welcome the written Questions, we love video questions. Just turn that selfie mode on and record and email them to next@9news.com. You can also text us, 303-871-1491. When the Sundance Film Festival decided to move to Boulder, some homeowners got dollar signs in their eyes. Now, Airbnb is offering extra cash for people to rent out their homes. That cash would offset the money it costs to get a rental license. The festival is 5 months away, and demand for rentals in the Boulder area is starting to heat up. Airbnb will offer a $200 bonus to new hosts willing to rent out their home in late January. Boulder has loosened restrictions on rentals, but property owners still have to pay around $200 for the license. Airbnb hopes the bonus will zero that out to get more homes on the app.
What I can say is we want to remove every barrier possible. That's why we're giving all of this information to locals so they understand how to host, the benefits of hosting. But we also don't want people to say, hey, I don't want to spend money and do this whole process. So this is just a little kick to encourage more folks.
I kind of want Airbnb to offer money to lower the cost so people can rent there. Nonetheless, many hotels in the area have been sold out for months. The bonus from Airbnb is only open to new hosts or people with no other active listings as of August 1st. The state capitol might be the most miserable office in Colorado. Another Democrat faces allegations of mistreating staff. Do you know what grinds a lot of your gears? Expired license plates. Now Denver's got a plan to find those procrastinators. And it's a sign that maybe Colorado is a little further than we thought from turning into California. Chris Bianchi is here, and you know I have voiced many times when weather people talk about nice weather. And I'm like, don't tell me what's nice. You're telling me tonight might be the nice weather I like.
Wow, you're taking advantage of your position there on the throne tonight to bash the subjectivity of meteorology, right? Is that what we're doing here, Marshall?
Is it like rain? Who's to say 80 degrees and sunny 90 degrees is everybody's definition of nice?
Marshall is a pluviophile, for those of you who are unaware, a rain lover. Marshall loves him some, or is it clouds, Marshall? You like clouds, right?
Overcast.
Overcast. So you heard it here first. Marshall loves it. I do too, kind of as well. But we do have the chance for a few showers and storms after dark tonight. So I know it's been pretty quiet today, but an unusual risk for some later showers and storms, especially north and east of Denver. And that's thanks to a cold front that's still yet to move in. It's really draped right along the I-80 corridor in southern Wyoming and southwestern Nebraska. Once this pushes through, that'll give us some of those showers and storms later in the evening. Now, flood watch up for southern Colorado. That's for the Aspen Acres burn scar. That is for tomorrow. But tonight, a few of those showers and storms along the I-70 corridor in Denver. Best chance for a shower or storm will be north and east of Denver, but you might notice here, again, 11:30 tonight. Some of those storms close to, if not in Denver. So if you're going to Red Rocks, probably a little late if you haven't left already, I would imagine it's a little bit on the late side. Rockies game, same idea. Bring the rain jacket with you is my point if you've got any outdoor plans this evening. Tomorrow, a few storms around. Better chance for a storm south of Denver for tomorrow. Broadview, mountains, showers and storms for tomorrow afternoon in southern Colorado in particular. Denver will probably stay dry tomorrow, especially along the north of I-70. Then high pressure moves back in, and that is going to keep us on the dry and warm side for Thursday and Friday. And that 7-day forecast. We dry up for Thursday and Friday, as I mentioned. Then Saturday and Sunday, showers and storms move back in. And it looks like at this point, these two days with the stormiest potential on the 7-day outlook, it's going to be Sunday and Monday as monsoon moisture moves back into the picture.
Another Democrat at the state capitol is facing allegations of mistreating their staff. In a new lawsuit, a former legislative aide claims Democratic Jefferson County State Representative Sheila Leiter duped her into campaigning and drove her to quit. Former aide Jennifer Chick filed the lawsuit against Leiter and House Democratic leadership late last week. Chick claims she suffered mental health effects from, quote, harsh and stressful working conditions in Leiter's office and needed to be hospitalized, but she struggled to access her sick leave and disability benefits. Chick also says she was hired by Leiter's office through a House Democratic caucus staffing pool, but that she did not politically align with Leiter and declined to work on her re-election campaign. According to Chick's lawsuit, Leiter still attempted to assign her to unpaid campaign tasks in violation of ethics and campaign finance rules. Chick says when she complained, Leiter badmouthed her to other lawmakers and tried to cut her hours. Leiter did not respond to our request for comment, and House Democratic leadership declined to comment while this lawsuit is ongoing. Leiter is the second Democrat to face claims of mistreating her staff in recent months. Longmont Democrat Sonia Jaquez Lewis was convicted of felony forgery this year after faking letters of support during an investigation into staff complaints. Simple typos can haunt us all. Just be glad yours didn't end up plastered downtown Denver for all to see. And the most Colorado thing we saw today is a bear invading the natural habitat of rams. That's going to be weird if you're just listening to this, but a reminder that you can catch Next streaming each night at 6 p.m. wherever you watch, and the podcast now. Every weeknight, we have this on podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. This story reminds me that my tags are about to expire. Colorado law enforcement is cracking down on expired license plates next week. Denver police and other metro area departments will be out next week enforcing temporary tags and expired registrations. It's a $95 fine on top of the registration and renewal costs. DPS usually doesn't pull people over, DPD that is, usually doesn't pull people over for low-level offenses like expired tags, but they periodically lift the policy during, quote, targeted enforcement periods like next week. So if you're still driving around with that 2025 tag, that's not my case. Or worse, or an expired temp tag, you've got until next week to get it corrected. It's a sign that the city of Denver could use a copy editor or a map. Late last week, the city installed a new street sign at 19th and California Street, or at least it used to be California Street. Our Foster Gaines, in his TV debut, was there as the city scrambled to fix its own typo.
Reporting live to tape from downtown Denver, 19th and California. Yes, breaking news, the California sign at 19th is misspelled. Our hawk-eyed assignment desk at 9 News saw somebody post about this on Reddit, and I just had to come check it out. A self-proclaimed private citizen who may or may not be a Dottie employee pulling away told me that this was put up, the spelling mistake was made by a contractor and not the city. Who's to say? The person who may or may not be a Dottie employee told me that the sign's been up since Friday and that they have people coming down right now to come take the sign down until they can get a new one made. And just as quickly as it went up, it came down. Thus ends the saga at 19th and California. For Next, I'm Foster Gaines.
Marilyn, what did you think of Foster's debut?
Oh, I loved it.
Let's talk about how the city is more embarrassed about the misspelling than keeping a sign up that tells people perhaps what street they're on. Now they don't know what street they're on. We'll get your feedback. California. Next. Well, things got wild today at CSU Move-In Day, and it's the most Colorado thing we saw today. Move over Cam the Ram. There's a new mascot in town. Perhaps it came from UNC. A young bear decided to take up residence outside Eddy Hall during Move-In today. Colorado Parks and Wildlife safely tranquilized the bear and relocated it, perhaps back to Greeley if it is a UNC bear, I don't know. Hooch in Boulder, we are seeing each other. He says, finally, someone sees what he's been yelling at the TV his whole life. He loves clouds. I don't know what Bianchi called me, but we are that. See you next time.